What is going on, YouTube? This is Jim, and today I want to talk to you guys about the Live with YouTube gaming show. It aired Thursday night, part of YouTube's new YouTube Live gaming block. It was hosted by Jeff Keighley. It sounds like they're going to do about 8 to 10 of these episodes for the first season, and we'll see where it goes from there. I want to tell you guys up front and early, I highly recommend you guys watch it. I'm going to put a link in the description box below. This one was under a lot of people's radar. I wasn't even aware of it until the next day when I was browsing on NeoGAF and I stumbled across it. I want to quickly go over some of the points that he talked about, kind of the format of the show, and most importantly, I want to tell you guys why it's such a great thing for us gamers and why more shows like this need to exist. So, he went through a slew of things. We had Titanfall 2 single-player exclusive gameplay. You finally got to see your pilot with other pilots in the world working on a mission together. We saw puzzles and platforming single-player challenges in Titanfall, which we had obviously never seen in Titanfall 1, but was the exclusive world premiere of that. Angry Joe did a special rant. Troy Baker came out and did a video or a voice contest with another famous YouTuber. I don't know the guy's name, but he's synonymous with some, a lot of voices that he's done. They did the news. They talked about the gaming news. They had a non-lethal playthrough of Dishonored 2. Kyle Bossman came out for Dear Bossman, which if you guys have never seen is hysterical, where video games will write him letters and he will counsel, the game itself, like why is nobody playing me, love, Battleborn, that sort of thing. It was great. Gears of War 4, which is where I want to spend most of my time on. The Console War BattleBot, which includes a new robot. Each console is going to be turned into, do you remember the old BattleBot show where you had people fight robots against each other? The first was Rob. He comes out, if you remember Rob from the Nintendo, the regular Nintendo era, he comes out on tank treads with all these blades around him. So I assume they're going to do one for each console, and then at the end they're going to have this giant BattleBot fight, which just looks amazing. They had an unboxing of the PlayStation VR, and then his closing notes on the No Man's Sky debacle. So that's just a quick summary of everything they talked about. I'm going to focus on 3 things: Gears of War, the live unboxing of the PlayStation VR console, and the final topic. And then I want to summarize why, again, I think this is so important. Rod Ferguson came out from Gears of War 4, and he was talking all about Horde 3.0. The really cool thing about Horde 3.0 is that any character can play any class. So if you guys remember the Gears of War Judgment Horde mode, in which you had different characters performing the roles, as in Baird was the only engineer you could have. No longer. If you want to have Baird be the sniper, you can do that. And that's really, really cool. In addition, not each character class is forced into a standard slot of weapons. They can use any of the weapons in the game, but there will be more favoritism for other weapons. I'm not sure if that means is a statistical boost, or they get ammo for them faster, or they do more damage. I have no idea what that means, but he says it's completely open, completely customizable. No longer are you shoehorned into types. And I think we can all agree that Horde mode on Gears 3 was revolutionary. I spent so much time of my life playing Gears of War 3 Horde mode. Absolutely loved it. Judgment did not do it for me. The class system, while it seemed like an interesting concept, wasn't very well thought out, wasn't very well fleshed out, and as a result, I think the gamer suffered from that. I know that game was critically kind of distanced from the original Gears trilogy. Sounds like 4 is back to its roots, and I think this Horde mode, dubbed Horde 3.0, is going to be amazing. Then they showed a live unboxing of the PlayStation VR. Justine and some other guy, I didn't catch his name, went through and opened up the console, and we finally got to see what's inside the box. And let me tell you guys something. Holy smokes, is that a lot of cables. I mean, boxes and boxes and boxes of connectors. You have cables that go from the console to this brain box to the power supply. It's so much stuff. It's overwhelming. And if you go back now that I'm telling you this, go look at some of these demos they've done and look at how they tried to hide the cable management. A lot of times these guys will be standing in these giant 3D type structures with these all these cameras around them, with all these green screens, so you kind of feel like you're in the game for those who are watching, not participating. And you'll see this big braided cables coming out of the person's head going up in the sky. And I'm like, okay, we don't have that. This cable is going to be draping across your arm, down your leg, in front of you. You're going to trip over it. Another reason why I think VR is a complete waste of time. I think it's going to flop horribly, and I think when people realize this stupid getup of all the connectors that are required, all the different things you have to do in order to make this system work, I think you're going to be turned off to it. I could be wrong. I'm usually not on this kind of thing. Then Jeff Keighley finished up with a final topic of the show, reminiscent of our good friend Jerry Springer. And he talked all about No Man's Sky. He talked about the Advertising Standards Authority in UK investigating No Man's Sky for false advertisement claims. And now this is on a national level. He went back and played an interview from 1999 with Peter Molyneux when he talked about a living, breathing universe inside Black and White, which I had that game, and while it was somewhat entertaining, was nowhere near up to the hype that Peter Molyneux did. We clearly know Peter Molyneux went on to Fable and talked so much crap. He started the 22 Cans initiative with his game Goddess. The guy is a dreamer. But one thing that Jeff Keighley said, which I thought was worth noting, he appreciates that there are large, big dream gaming admirers in this world. He admires these people who dream big and admire others to dream big and say, you know what? We need more people to push the envelope. Because even if these guys fail, they will inspire other people to try to raise that bar. And he says that even though Sean Murray failed horribly, and even though Hello Games is No Man's Sky looked like crap years ago when he was reviewing it, and Sean Murray and him were not on speaking terms because Sean Murray felt he was too aggressive and negative towards the game, Jeff Keighley was still appreciative that somebody thought of this, because at least maybe the next guy will get it right. But he did say, as a gamer and as a gaming community as a whole, he let down his audience and he felt disrespected by Hello Games. And he said Sean Murray will be on the show sometime in October. Whether that pans out or not remains to be seen. I hope he's as tough on Sean Murray as he was during that interview. I think you're going to see that a lot of sparks may fly. Knowing Sean Murray's personality type, I'm not entirely sure he's even going to show up. It may be pre-recorded. We don't know yet. However, it's worth noting that it may be happening. I think that's kind of exciting. Now, as an aside, my final wrap-ups on this thing. I said it before, I'll say it again. You need to go watch this. You need to support this, and here's why. It was a show that brought together the YouTube gaming community, which has kind of always taken a second seat to the Twitch gaming community. And not to segregate gamers from YouTube and Twitch and Xbox and PlayStation, but it really did a good job of bringing everybody together. There were familiar faces that we knew. There are a lot more special guests and a lot more features and ads and that sort of thing that are coming to bring our community together. And I think they're going to do a lot more of these special skits, the battle bots, the Dear Bossman, the Angry Joe rants. I'm sure Francis will be in there at some point. Maybe Total Biscuit will get him out there. I don't know who's all going to be on the show. Troy Baker was a great way to start off the season. It's cool. It's kind of like a gaming variety show, but then he broke it down and he got really serious with the news. They talked about the negative connotation of gaming. He did his, final moment where he lambasted No Man's Sky, but in a critical way. And I like that, and I hope more of that continues because, I'm a huge gamer. Clearly, you could tell I love this stuff. I live for this stuff. No one asked me if I want to host a show where I get a national voice, where I get to sit and talk with Rod Ferguson, where I get to sit and talk with Vince Lampanelli and ask them the hard questions and say, hey, why did Titanfall 1 suck? What are you guys doing about Titanfall 2? What are you doing to fix Horde mode? What are you doing to do this or that or whatever it is? I don't get that opportunity. I get to tweet. No one sees it. You guys see the views on my channel. I'm not blind. I don't have a large audience. But the fact that Jeff Keighley does have the large audience and the fact that he's willing to put together a show like this and that he's got the backing of YouTube and that he's going after some of the more hot topics in gaming and it's going to be a weekly, episodic, topical show, I like that. And I think that's really, really cool, and I'm glad we have something like that. Yes, there are gaming talk shows all over the place. I guess technically I could be considered a sort of gaming talk show where I am the host and the special guest. But for the most part, you don't really get to see this a lot in mainstream. And this is probably about as mainstream as we're going to get, for now at least. And you're not going to have the nonsense like you did on Spike TV, where you have infinite amount of advertisers really steering your corporate message. This is a guy who's being funded by YouTube, and pretty much whatever he wants to say goes. There's really no funding involved in terms of like he can't piss off the sponsor. They went after Call of Duty. They went after Battleborn. They went after The Last Guardian. They went after No Man's Sky. These are big games that a lot of the major developers are steering clear from because they're being paid to advertise those games. And YouTube has that unique situation where we are Ronin. We have nobody but ourselves to support. Now, yes, there are sponsored videos, and yes, there are advertisement places all over the place. But the pure video game talk really gets watered down because people don't want to piss off the money man. I get it. However, I also get that a guy like Jeff Keighley, who's going to say, I'm going to put this show out there, we're going to have live polls, we're going to direct the content of the show together, we're going to keep doing new things, we're going to innovate the show and make it about gamers for gamers, and we're going to get the attention of the big game community and the big developers together, is a great, great idea. I can't say enough good things about that. So, check it out below. Watch it for yourselves. I'm a huge fan. It airs Thursday night at 8 p.m. live, and then it's on YouTube for the end of time. That's all I have to say about this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy your weekend, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.